Hey there, good morning. This is Raj here. It's almost 8 o'clock, so we got to get started. Yes, the Blue Jays did it. I believe it was a home run that fixed it for them. I have not yet been out of cricket. I'm still into cricket, so I've not been following too much. But yeah, I like it that they made it. So for today, I think all the futures. Hi, Hot Dog. Thanks for joining. Today, all the futures are kind of neutral. When I was doing the script for today's live stream, I found that they were in the negative and they are slowly inching up. Right now, S&P 500 is almost neutral, and I would be surprised if it doesn't go up because nothing seems to affect this market. And I think investors should be braced for a wave of corporate earnings and continue to track trade tensions and government shutdown development. And that will lead to their reactions. Right now, there are some big companies which are all reporting this week: Apple, Alphabet, Tesla, Netflix, GM, and all those companies will have an influence on the index. This is putting a heavy focus on tech and consumer sectors. Meanwhile, General Motors fell 2.1% in pre-market trading ahead of its earnings announcement, while 3M gained 1.1% and Netflix edged higher prior to releasing results after the bell. Apple and Alphabet are trading just below record highs set in Monday's session, while Meta has gained slightly. Now, if we do a Monday recap and macro picture, yesterday all major Wall Street indices advanced more than 1%, driven by optimism over positive earnings forecasts and reduced credit concerns for regional banks. Even as the government shutdown delayed key economic data releases, Treasury yields remain below 4%, and gold retreated from last week's peak above 4,300 per ounce. Now, in terms of sectors, like Zion Bancorp continues to recover after last week's loan problems, reporting improved Q3 profits and leading gains among regional banks. Now, I would like to pause a little out here. Trump has been saying that we should do away with quarterly reports and have only once in every 6-month reporting. If that goes through, can you imagine what happens to banks like Zion Bancorp, where they have genuine problems? Right now, they are saying that everything is good, hunky-dory. Do we just believe that? Right? That's the big question. And what do retail investors do with the limited information they have and no access to inside information the way hedge funds and big institutions do? Right? So it's not a level playing field. There's another company, Crown Holdings, which is today's biggest mover, with gains attributed to improved outlook and recent acquisitions. Internationally, Atos dropped 17% after a revenue miss and lower guidance for 2025. Coca-Cola HBC fell after announcing a major stake acquisition. Trade and Policy Watch includes looking at President Trump's tariff policy, which continues to influence global sentiment. US-China talks are expected to resume this week in Malaysia, with cautious optimism reported by Treasury. And Trump has said that in the future, when he meets with President Xi, it will be a beautiful deal. That's what he said. That was his soundbite. And I think the market will lap it up the way it has done in the past. I mean, it sounds like a really fed up person, but that's what I feel like, because this market is not in its senses, in my opinion. It shouldn't be so high. And gold shouldn't be so high either. But here we are. The government shutdown remains unresolved, with hopes for a bipartisan compromise this week to restore full data reporting and reduce fiscal risk. Because you remember, economic data is not coming out, right? So many economic reports are just hidden. So when I was a student, when I was a child, and I had to get a signature from my parents on my report card, the best thing I could do was not give them the report card, hide it and forge the signature myself. And that's what the government is doing by not publishing financial data. They are just hiding the report card so that we don't get to see how bad it really is. To summarize, October 21 opens with slight declines in index futures, spotlight on heavyweight earnings, cautious optimism, and trade and credit risk, and ongoing fallout from shutdowns and delayed data flow. And friends, I don't know if any of you saw this. There was this huge 7 million people No Kings protest. And Trump did the most mature thing after that. He released an AI video of himself showing him wearing a crown, flying a fighter jet, and pooping all over the protesters. This was an AI-generated video. And I think if the market does not recognize that there is full-fledged dysfunction in US right now, and it doesn't respond accordingly, then I think we just have to throw caution to wind and just go long on everything, because if this doesn't change the market flow, nothing is going to do that. Well, with that said, let me go on and look at the chat section, comment section, and see what is happening out here. Hot Dog, good morning. Inf, good morning. How did you find the Goldman Sachs partner, Raj? Oh, I couldn't find it, Hot Dog. I searched for it, but I didn't find any partner. If you give me the name or something, I'd be able to check it out, because that's unverified information right now. Otherwise, I would have made a video on that. I was planning to make a video on that, but I didn't get any verified information. If you can give me the name of that partner, then it will be a more productive search. And I wanted to do a video on that. So with that said, let's go on and have a look at what's happening here in our TradingView platform. So let's go into S&P 500 futures. Now, as you can see, Lotfi Karoi. Okay, I'll check that out, Hot Dog. I will check that out, and probably there'll be a video on that. And that could be a very significant piece of information. Okay, so here we go. S&P 500, you see this orange line that I had drawn from earlier? We had not been able to close above that. So today we could probably go above it, but I am not sure if we are going to be able to close above that. If we close above that and confirm that as a support, then all bets are off. We are off to the races and we can go up. So right now, we are just within this red candle, the huge red candle that we dropped from. We have extra support also from this diagonal line of support. So today the support is going to be at 6,691.50. Resistance, the minor resistance is going to be at 6,801.25. Actually, I shouldn't call it minor resistance. It's actually major resistance, because they are at the peak. And we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles and 7 candles. Okay, that's a lot. So I think we are in good position to say that this is a big resistance. If we break above 6795.75 today, that would be great. We are right now at 6775.00, 20 basis points below. We go above that, then it will be fantastic. NASDAQ, again, the same situation. We have support out here at 25,201.75, and we have not yet broken out of this big red candle. The moment we break out of this big red candle and close about 25,394, I think then we would have an opportunity to set a floor out here, build a foundation, and move upwards. Right now, that has not yet happened. So we have to watch that. Market sentiment is still bearish. MACD is also bearish. Momentum is above average. Room in the RSI. And dollar index is up. It's gone up. Let me see if I'm showing you the charts. Yeah. So dollar index has gone up 0.33%. We still have resistance out here at 99.198. We have been sub 100 all the way from 1st of August 2025. And we have never gone up from 1st August onwards above 100. So I think dollar still looks weak. Mix is edging up slowly, and we have gold, which is down 2.44%. And I've just finished making a video on gold, and I have given 3 theories in that video, actually 4 theories in that video on why gold price is going up and why it should continue to go up. Right now, in my opinion, we are having a consolidation, because if you go to the weekly, we are forming a topping tail out here. We have to see how this week develops. This is just day 2 of the week, and we have support out here at 4,066.207. And if during the week we are able to break above the candle that was formed before, that would be 4,371.203, then we are off to the races. Otherwise, we are going to have problems. Let me go back to the daily chart, and in the daily chart, you will see that we have dropped down from the RSI resistance. So we still have opportunity to turn around. I think this is a bull flag in the making, and breakout on the upside is the most possible outcome that might happen. And with regard to the theories, I've already done that in the video, so I won't take too much of your time here. The video will release within an hour or so. And Hot Dog, I know it's time for you to go to bed after this, but I'll try to release it within half an hour after finishing the live stream. Next, let's go on and have a look at what's happening with the Canadian dollar, Canadian 5-year bond. It came down. It met our target. See, our target of 2.621 has been met, and then we bounce back up again. Right now, we are at 2.625. So everything moving in the right direction for Canadian real estate markets. The mortgage renewals will become cheaper after the 29th, when I think the central bank will do another 25 basis point rate cut. So that's a little bit of a good news out here. Now let's go ahead and look at what's happening with the indicators, and let us go to S&P 500. S&P 500 is still within the parallel line context, and the resistance for today is going to be 6771.79, and the support for today, initial support, is going to be 6,678.09. Momentum is bearish, MACD is bearish, and market sentiment is bearish, MACD is bearish, and momentum is pretty above average, and there's plenty of room on the RSI. So we'll have to see what happens when the market opens. I frankly do not have an idea. If it was up to me, I'll be tanking the markets, but market has a mind of their own. They can say irrational for longer than you can be solvent. We have bearish market sentiment for NASDAQ, and MACD is also bearish. Momentum is above average, plenty of room on the RSI. Pre-market, I think we saw that NASDAQ was a little bit muted. Let's go out here. It's at 0.02. So I wouldn't say it is highly bullish, and I wouldn't say that it is highly bearish. It's just about neutral. So it's anybody's guess what's going to happen today, but we'll get support. I think our first support for today for NASDAQ is going to be at 24,893.53, and our resistance is going to be at 25,195.28. If we close above 25,195.198, that will be the first positive step, and then we'll have to confirm that, and we should be fine after that. Now let's go on to QQQ. QQQ is up 0.06% in pre-market trades. I think for today, the resistance is going to be 613.18, and support is going to be at around 605.30. Now, after this, I would like to go and have a look at AI. Let's go to NVDA. NVDA is up 0.25% in pre-market trades. It has had formidable trouble breaking out of 183.69. Will it manage to do that today? I think the indicators do not seem to show that, because sentiment is bearish, MACD is bearish, momentum is just at average. There's a weak attempt in the morning, but let us see how it matures when we open up for the trade. Meta is up 0.58%. It is still under the resistance of 736.94. I have still not given up on the double top target of 651.96. I think this is a whole lot of consolidation, but we have a bear flag pole out here. So this is bearish flag pattern in my opinion. And once, I think more or less it's going to become a pennant, because the range of these variations will start becoming narrow as we go further, and then it will break down on the lower side. That's my expectation of that. Google is down 0.20% in pre-market trades. We have earnings coming up on 29th of October. Let us see when Meta is calling its earnings. That's also on 29th of October. We'll have a lot of things to worry about at that time. Amazon is up 0.56%. We had the outage for Amazon. That should also weigh down on the stock price. But today we are seeing a jump, and we still have a resistance for today at 222.49, which will be the ultimate resistance. But intermediate resistance, I think, is going to be somewhere around 220.09. Meta looks amazing. Meta makes a lot of revenue and margins, earnings and margins. That is true. But if people are losing their jobs, and if the earnings are not coming in, I think discretionaries have got to go down and essentials have to go up. We still have not seen full monetization of AI. For instance, I use all 5 AIs without paying any money, and I'm able to use that. And these companies are paying a lot of money for putting the data center, powering it, and all that stuff. So a lot of funding is going into creating this AI data infrastructure. Sooner rather than later, regardless of anything, it's going to reflect in the balance sheet, and it's also going to reflect in the top line sales. So it's inevitable that after all the investment is done, there'll be a period of digestion before the money starts coming in. So I think that will work on Amazon, Google, and also on Microsoft and OpenAI, those kind of company. And remember, OpenAI is a big risk for the whole market because everybody has put all their eggs in the OpenAI basket. That's my opinion. I am glad to hear from you guys. We have Apple, which is down 0.07%, but it broke out above our line of resistance. Today, it will get support at 261.61. So I'm going to mark this green. And if we confirm above, if we close above 264.38, we'll be confirming this diagonal line of support. And then this can help us to bounce up, build a foundation and bounce up further. Next, let us look at let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft is down 0.03%. To be honest, Raj, they don't care about retail subs for AI the same way Amazon doesn't care about Prime subs. Yeah, I hear you, hot dog. Yeah, you got a very good point out there. But how many of these companies are going to be able to afford to pay the kind of money that needs to sustain NVDA at the levels that it is right now? And when will NVIDIA have a break on its earnings? So when I think of those things, right, I do feel apprehensive because these are huge numbers we are talking about, and everything is getting piled up on OpenAI. And what happens if they come up with AGI? What is going to be the pricing model? What's going to be the regulations in which they are going to operate? And yeah, I really don't know, because in medicine also, AI can create a whole lot of synergies and give value for companies. Many companies are working on that also. So are they going to be a standalone niche? And what's going to happen with OpenAI? Are they just going to be LLMs? What is the overall gameplay? So that's what I'm not getting a clear picture of. But I hear you. It's not just the retail guys, but the retails are also a huge number. And retail has to pan out. I don't see many people paying subscription as such. I use it very liberally and it's still available. Power supply, electricity bill, anecdotally has gone up 30% for all Americans, which is where all AI is happening. So somebody has got to foot the bill at the end of the day. So those are the things I'm worried about. But I hear you, hot dog. I've registered what you have said, and I'll consider that. Now let's look at Tesla. It's down 0.31%. Tesla is down 0.31% today. And I don't see any major pattern coming up yet, except a probable head and shoulder pattern in the formation. That is if the price goes down, like it has gone down today and it forms a shoulder. Otherwise, I think Tesla still has got a huge fanboy club. It should be all right. Oracle is up 0.66%. It is still struggling to go above this diagonal line of support, which is going to be performing the role of resistance today at 280.30. So I'm just going to mark this red for now, and we'll see what happens. And let's go to AMD. AMD has got a huge gap up. AMD has had a whole lot of good news and everything, and it had a big spike, but now it is kind of consolidating. The RSI still has room, but MACD is starting to move towards the signal line, and bullish market momentum is a bit flat right now, even though it's highly elevated. So I think just like gravity, everything that goes up has to come down. So we're going to have a little bit of moderating. And if the support holds at 236.86 today, I'll be happy. Otherwise, we're going to see us coming down below this and making our way back down to fill the gap. That's what I'm thinking might happen for AMD. SMCI is up 0.25% in pre-market trades. Very narrow range of trading yesterday. And today, we'll have to look at whether we are able to close above yesterday's closing. Right now, pre-market, we are up 0.31%. I don't have any clear perspective out here. I would say that this looks more or less like a bullish pennant to me at this point of time, which is a positive thing. But the price action is very scattered, so I don't know what's happening out here. But bullish pennant is what I'm going with. Broadcom is up 0.32% in pre-market trades. I really don't know what's happening out here. I could attempt to see if we can have a line of resistance out here. I put a diagonal line of resistance. This is one thing I can do out here. The gap up needs to be filled up, and we have this diagonal line which is coming from the past, which has a touch point out here and a touch point here. One here, one here. So I think this is still valid. So we have a wedge pattern out here. And if we continue moving within the wedge pattern, we'd probably break out on the upside. That's the probability. Palantir is up 0.03%, still forming a huge consolidation out here. And if I was to consider this to be a flagpole, then we have a bullish pennant in the making out here, which is most likely going to break out on the upside. SMH is up 0.22%. I was saying that this is very important for the index. So I'm really happy to see the development out here. I'm going to convert this into a green line showing that this is going to be the support for today. Yesterday, we ended above this. And today, we want to close above 350.30, in which case we would have confirmed this line of support. This morning, we are up 0.22%. That is taking us to 348.00. Our resistance for today is likely to be 350.30. Let's see if we can break that. Tempus AI is down 1.18%. It still has got support at 90.22, and it needs to do a whole lot of repair to move up. If I assume this to be a flagpole, like if I was very generous and assume we have a flagpole this long, we are already gone past half of the flagpole. So I wouldn't consider this to be flag anymore. It's more of a bear channel, and we have a long tail out here, which shows that sellers have been pushing it down. So I'm thinking that I'd like to watch more candles for Tempus AI, and we have support today at 90.14. I would like to see us confirm this support and stay above this. That will be what I need for today. Market sentiment is dropping, MACD is bearish, and momentum is just above average. Now, Celsius is something I want to make a video on. It has got a cup and handle pattern. I promised you a video yesterday, but I couldn't do it. So I'm just going to share this with you right away. There's a huge cup and handle pattern for Celsius holding. And I think we are starting to break out. And even here, if you look at this is the secondary cup and handle that is coming up out here. So overall, Celsius is looking very bullish with the ultimate target of 104.20. And at the very least, I would say that we are looking at a target. Let's do this. Let's take this from here on the way up to here and put this out here. At the very least, we are looking at 74.54. This is a $10 gain out here. Of course, this is my personal opinion, not financial advice. So do your own investigations. Market sentiment is bullish. MACD is bullish. Momentum is above average. Plenty of room on the RSI. So that's what I would think of Celsius. Pre-market, it's up 0.02%. And let's go on and have a look at Genomics. In Genomics, I have Prime out here. Prime is continuing to make a whole lot of consolidation. I have ruled out this being a bull flag. We'll see what happens with this. I think the flagpole starts from here. So this is the flagpole, my friends. If you see this, this is the most generous flagpole I can draw. We are already below 3/4 of the flagpole. So it's no longer a bull flag. It's just a bear channel. And I want to see if we can have more candles that will take us out of this bear channel. And for today, I would peg the support at 5.63. Intelia is down 0.04%. It will still continue to have support at around, let's see what this is. It's 27.13. That's the support. Caribou Biosciences, I have said that there is a cup and handle pattern out here. That cup and handle pattern will take us to 3.82. We also have a double bottom out here. If you look at this double bottom, and if you were to take a double bottom target, I would just roughly calculate the double bottom target out here and put it on top here. So that should take us to 2.46. We are already gone above that. So I think overall, Caribou Biosciences is looking bullish to me. I have bought 500 Caribou Biosciences, and I'm hoping that this time I have not jumped the gun. So I'm thinking that we have a target of 3.83, and we are creating a bullish pennant out here. That's my theory. We'll see what happens. Market sentiment is bullish, MACD is bullish, momentum is above average, plenty of room on the RSI for Caribou. Beam Therapeutics is up 1.21% in pre-market trade. This is a huge candle out here. And I think we need more patterns out here. There are no patterns right now. We have met and achieved our target of 29.06. So I would be watching for targets for more patterns. And right now, as you can see, we are very close to the RSI resistance on the RSI scale, which is supposed to be somewhere around $73 or $75. So right now we are at 75.04 is the resistance on the RSI scale, and right now we are at around 64.96. So there is plenty of room out there. So Beam could go up further. Altium is up 0.25% yesterday. Thankfully, it had a good jump, and we still have this diagonal line of support for the bull channel intact. So slowly and steadily, we are moving up. When it comes to Altium, Editas is down 0.36%. We have Illumina, which is up 0.10%, and we continue to have support for Illumina at 93.91, and we will have resistance for Illumina at 101.36. CRISPR Therapeutics is down 0.56%. And I think for today, the resistance is going to be 76.35. So that's going to be the resistance. Next, we have Allogene, and Allogene is flat in pre-market trades. Grail is up 0.16%. In pre-market trades, you have a huge topping tail out here. That's a very, very cautionary thing for Grail. If I was holding Grail, I would start buying some protection out there and probably take some profits. So be very careful, guys, with Grail. Again, personal opinion, not financial advice. But this is looking dangerous. Pre-market, we are up 0.16. In order to extinguish this topping tail, we have to close above 103.00, which seems to me to be a very tall order. PSCV is flat in pre-market trades. ARCG is flat in pre-market trades. Vertex is down 0.26%, and it has got support at 413.69. Ginkgo Bioworks is up 2.86%. It will have resistance today at 15.03. And Iovance is what David Best was talking about. He said, watch for Iovance today. Iovance is up 1.72%. And let us look at what is happening here for Iovance. September 19, EMA CHMP recommended 5 extensions of indication for medicines, Bimrivax, Dupixent, and Keytruda. So what has this got to do with Iovance? Anyway, I'll check it out later. But right now out here, I can see a head and shoulder pattern, one shoulder, one head, and another shoulder. So when does it get triggered? Let us take a line and see if we can connect. So the head and shoulder is already triggered, in my opinion. I am going to draw a target for this head and shoulder and take it to the breakout point. So I think we are looking at 2.64 for Iovance, which is at 2.32. So that's what I'm thinking. Again, personal opinion, not financial advice. I could be wrong, but the probability of reaching a target of 2.66 has emerged for Iovance. Now let's look at Precision. Precision is down 0.63% in pre-market trades. Yesterday, we formed a topping tail. We already were under the influence of a topping tail. So let us see what happens out here later on today. Market sentiment had been improving. MACD had become bullish. So I'm hoping for the best out here, but it's not looking that great right now. And if you look at Eli Lilly, it's down 0.27% again, pre-market. It's moving towards the median out here, which is at around 743.45. Then we look at RAD, which is Ultragenyx. Ultragenyx is down 0.58% in pre-market trades. I still maintain that we have a target of 35.03 for Ultragenyx. Now, RKT for INF, it is still looking bearish to me. INF, it's a bear flag and it's likely to break out on the downside. So that's what I have there for you guys. Now let me go and look at the currencies. In currencies, I want to look at Bitcoin, which is going to shadow what's happening with the main indices. And I think Bitcoin is finding it difficult to go above the support of 109.425. I'm going to mark this as red. And I think Bitcoin is looking bearish to me. This is a bear flag in action, and the propensity for a bear flag is to break out on the downside. I'm going to look at Ethereum the same way. It's again forming a bear flag, and probably it has already started breaking down on the downside for the bear flag. And if you look at XRP, XRP is also down. It's traveling along this diagonal line of support. And for today, the support happens to be 2.4192. So that's what we have here. BTC.T is at 59.68. And let's go on and look at what Inf was wanting, TLT. So I don't have TLT here. Let me go into the indicators and see if I have TLT. No, I'm going to add TLT, TLT. And when I look at TLT, TLT definitely looks bullish. It's continuing to move upwards, and we are almost ready to take off this topping tail that we had formed before. And that topping tail will be taken off when we cross 92.05 and close above 92.05. We seem to be on the way for that. And I think as TLT goes up, so will the yields of the bond go down. And it's looking bullish at this point of time. So if I was to assume this to be a bullish action, I think this is more like a flagpole. I want to see some patterns developing out here, which gives us bullish signals. There is a gap up out here, which needs to fill. So I'm looking either for a bullish pennant or a bullish flag out here to give me some signs that there's consolidation and then movement upwards, because the RSI is at the overbought almost. So there should be consolidation today. That's what I'm hoping for. I hope that helps you for whatever you're looking at. Let me see what else, which 5 AIs do you use? I'm using ChatGPT, I'm using Perplexity, I'm using Claude, I'm using Gemini, and what else do I have? So those are the four that come to the top of my mind. I use them interchangeably on an ongoing basis. So those are the 4 that I use. And I still don't have any membership with any of them. I don't pay for subscription or anything as such. Okay, so it's all done and I'm finished for the day. I'll catch up with you again in the next video, friends, and bye for now. Unless you have anything that you want to ask me, any stock that you want me to do any technical analysis of, or if you want to hear my gold theories, then just mention it in the chat section, and I will briefly mention it to you. Otherwise, we're done. Okay, guys, take care. Watch out for my gold video. I'll catch up with you again in the next one.